Awesome. And we have an amazing guest today, so go ahead and introduce our guest.
Stephanie Aduhar, otherwise known as StephA, is not only an actress, but a singer, dancer, producer, director. Oh my God, she is amazing. She's a songwriter. What else do you do? I mean, you do a lot of stuff. And she wears many hats created by her own production. She created her own production company. And in 2016, which currently features her comedy web series, StephA, one-woman show, as I would expect. I did a comedy thing too, so we have that in common. We're both from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, and I visit Manhattan a lot. I feel sorry for you. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave and Neil, for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
No problem. Love that accent you've got.
Thank you. It's real New York. You know what I'm saying?
Real New York.
Definitely.
33 and toyed.
So I should have never mentioned California because that's you're the New Yorker, right?
I'm born and bred New Yorker. That's right, Manhattan, New York.
All right, awesome. Yeah. All right, Dave.
So we know where you grew up. Well, you grew up in Manhattan, but you had you were in the Chelsea projects, I understand, right?
Yes, that's correct.
How was that? Was that safe? Or
back in the day,
projects are safe, right?
You know, growing up in New York City, it was interesting. I grew up in a time like in the late 90s, growing up as like a, preteen and stuff like that. And I remember going to 42nd Street when there were actual movie theaters there on that 42nd Street row. And they looked really dingy and it looked pretty crazy, but it fit the setting if you were watching like a horror movie there or something like that. But growing up in the projects, I mean, it does make you tough, you know what I'm saying? Or it makes you want to go and do things outside of where you're from to go and get, a better, to stay out of trouble, what I'm trying to say. But it was you know what I mean? I think, if anything, it was pretty tough going. There were a few little fights here and there. I'm really scrappy, I guess, I had to defend myself every now and then.
So
but
you
it
take
wasn't
care
that
of
bad.
yourself.
If anything, it made me the woman I am today.
Yeah. And your mother tried to protect you. So what? She sent you to after school project that changed your life. Tell us about that.
Yeah. There was actually a flyer they sent us home. Usually like the teacher would send you home with like little flyers and things like that, to give to your parents. And I remember it said after school program, Beacon after school program, and I was like, I don't want to do that. She's like, you're doing this because I know you dance and you like to show off, so you're gonna go act. I said, I don't want it. But it ended up being my calling. It ended up being where I found out what a monologue was and got to do a bunch of plays. And my drama teacher, Derek Ties, rest his soul, he's the one that pushed me to then attend Talent Unlimited High School. And then from there, the rest is history,
Because that's
your mama
basically that was a kind of
a smart woman. You take care of her in her old age.
Yeah, exactly. So your mom got you involved in that, but then did the fire light under you once you saw you enjoy this so much, like the way you kind of maybe acted in school and dealt with different things, you changed it differently once you had a focus, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would say I was already doing it from 11 to 12 in the after school program. And then by 13, I was in the play The Wiz. So I got to play the Scarecrow. And I auditioned for that hard. I remember they were like, you have to audition. I was like, oh my God. But I got down my part. I made sure I knew the lines. I finessed it. And I was like, I got my first gig, but not realizing years later, there's going to be more auditions and you're going to finesse yourself a little better. You know what I mean? But right there at 13, I really figured out what I wanted to do. And it was coincidence too. My parents attended IS 70 where I was in the after school program, and the Wayans brothers also attended IS 70 in the Chelsea area here. So it was kind of like, it was interesting, you know what I mean? To come from that kind of background too. It just seemed like IS 70 produced artists, So that's pretty big.
So
if I close my eyes.
So you were saying about the Wayans. Did you run into them during that? They were much older, all of them?
Well, no, now I guess they're much older now, but they attended, well, Damon Wayans attended when my parents attended back in the 70s.
Right.
And then Kim Wayans as well. She also attended with them. Like they're in my mom's yearbook. So I look back and she tells me, look, the Wayans went here, so you're a star too, Steph. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. Thanks.
I got it.
If I close my eyes, I see J-Lo. You sound just like her. You talk like her.
Oh, thank you.
So you're not Cuban, right?
No, yo soy puertorriqueña, boricua. My father's from Ponce, Puerto Rico. My mother's from here, New York, but her parents are from Puerto Rico as well. And you know what I'm saying? J-Lo is one of the Latinas up there that, I'm sure she had to endure a lot just coming up in the game. And it's the same here, you know what I mean? It's a journey, you know what I mean? It's especially being Latina and a female. You know, you got to make sure you stay strong-minded and keep doing your thug dizzle, you know?
She's you could tell she's acting on us. You could see the comedy come out with her. Yeah, we see your comedy coming out in this interview. So what do you enjoy more, comedy or playing a dramatic role?
I love them both, to be honest with you. I was doing a lot of dramatic roles with some of the parts that I've secured in the business so far, from like Precious and Law and Order and Marjorie Prime. And I was being really dramatic and no one got to see, I feel like, my comedic side. That's why I made the StephA One Woman Show, my comedy web series, so they could see me play a whole bunch of different characters and I could be goofy and funny, be pretty, but be funny, you know? That's why I did that.
Interesting.
I love them both.
You went to a very special high school, didn't you? What was the name of it? It's something about talent.
Yeah, I went to Talent Unlimited High School. It's in
What
the
is
Julia
that?
Richmond
Is that
complex.
a high school geared for talented people?
And it's unlimited talent. Yeah, no, exactly. I think it started in the late 80s. The high school there it's in the Julia Richmond complex on East 68th Street.
Wow.
And my drama teacher, like I said, Derek Tice, he pushed me to then audition for that school. And I auditioned for a few other schools, but that seemed to be the one that really wanted to pick me up. And I said, okay, this is great. And I got to perform in so many plays there. And that's where I really got to now hone my acting craft, for theater especially, where I think now the dramatic actress in me was coming about, and the comedic one there too.
Wow.
Thinking about on stage, I was about to say, Dave, when she talks about on stage, you go ahead with that question if you have a question before I ask another one.
No, I was just going to compliment your mother. She's a very smart lady. She knew what she was doing. And what was her background? I mean, did she have a happy life? Did she achieve her dreams, or is she living her life through you and your dreams?
You know, that's interesting. Yeah, my mom, she got with my father in the 70s. They were, you could say, junior high school sweethearts. And from then on, it was just about, I guess, being with the love of her life and then having 3 great, beautiful children, and yet wanting to make sure she's funny. She's a funny woman too. Like, she loves Lucille Ball, and like, you know, she put us onto it, or I Love Lucy. And from then on, it was kind of like, look, I'm a funny woman, but I know my daughter can do the same thing I was doing, because my mother's not shy. You know, like, she'll talk to people and meet people randomly. And she's the one, I guess you can say, yeah, she made sure I stood focused too. You know what I mean? Like,
the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree.
Exactamundo, exactly. You know, that's good. Yeah, so she's the one, I would say, she really has been there, front and center, always in my plays if she could be there. And then, you know, she became a bit of a single mom as time went on too, and then raising 3 kids on her own for a while there. And my father, you know, trying to be there with her when he had passed there. It was, you know, it was a bit of a difficult time, but she's a strong woman, and she made sure to, you know, make sure we did our thing.
Sure.
Now, thinking about when you talk about, did you start in theater after high school? Was that the first breaks you tried to be in more theater actress, or did you move right to different other roles after high school?
I did a lot of theater in high school, from junior high to high school. And then I actually went to Pace University right after high school, but I was auditioning still. So I was going on the audition circuit while I was in Pace, getting my business degree, wanting to learn more about business. That was like, it was a juggling act, because I was working part-time. I was going to auditions, going to school round the clock. And I wanted to make my parents proud. That's why I didn't stop going to Pace. I had to take a semester off from Pace when I got the movie Precious, because they were like, this is going to be filmed. We only filmed it within a month, but there was more time before that we had to give of ourselves. And I was like, I got to drop the semester. And I thought, like, should I go back, or is this my big break? I said, I'm going to go back so I can make my parents proud at least. That was my big motivating factor, to go get that degree. And I got that degree. And I'm really proud.
That's very smart of you. Do you feel like